I wasn't planning on saying anything today, but I've sat back for the last couple of months and I've listened to the arguments on all sides, and I felt the pressure. It's a very intense lobbying effort on all sides. And interestingly enough, when I walked outside a few minutes ago, where were all the individuals who represent the companies that are getting incentives to say, thank you, keep doing a great job? It's pretty quiet out there. I expected, since the last Appropriations Committee meeting, I've only had one incentive recipient come and talk with me and say, thank you, please keep doing it, it's working. Everybody else on the list, I'm thinking, where are they? I wanted to hear from them. I wanted to hear about these stories, to substantiate the anecdotal, to talk about what's happened since 2013's reforms, to talk about what's been happening since those press releases, how many jobs have been created, how those benchmarks, those progress reports are working. Walk outside. In all of this and sitting back, I think we have missed the bigger picture. When you talk about attraction, from a woman's perspective, if your husband is a CEO and he has a business and he's thinking about relocating the family to Florida, from a woman's perspective, what do you look at? The quality of affordable housing and safe neighborhoods, a strong education system to send your kids to, access to research institutions, universities, business incubators, skilled trades, workforce of all talents and all abilities, access to capital, operating loans, and of course, a favorable tax structure. If you're already here and thinking about growth and retention, one of the biggest hindrances to businesses of all sizes, and this has to be our job over the next 2 years, is to address how difficult and ridiculous it is for existing small, medium, and large businesses to expand because of local government rules and regulations that make it that much more difficult, that much bureaucratic, that much costlier. You look at the rules for permitting, building costs, delays, restrictive codes that tell you what you can and cannot do with your business, conditions, exactions, code enforcement. Talk about code enforcement procedures. A business person who's been there for decades adds a new and novel use and they get slapped with the code enforcement restriction. That's not pro-business. Look at the cost of lands, the cost of rents. For mom and pops, you would ask them, why are they less worthy of our best effort to create a climate that is business friendly for everybody? Who advocates for them? We want to talk about incentives? Those are our incentives. It's more than the government program that decides what's sexy and attractive. What incentives do we give to existing Florida businesses to grow, to cut back on the bureaucracy, the red tape, to free up their capital so they can buy equipment, they can make investments in their property and their infrastructure, and they can hire more people and pay them better wages? I know because, believe it or not, I have signed the front and back of checks. I talk from personal experience. And I share the stories of those who constantly say, why not me? Why is my business somehow less worthy? Why doesn't Florida want me to stay here and grow? Check your emails, go back and talk to folks, because when we walk outside those doors and we go home, those are the people that we hear from. That's who I choose today, Mr. Speaker and members, to fight for. My choice was that much more clear today. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.